Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to fit a spoiler onto my Alto. There is not many people that do this kind of modification, but I just thought it'd be cool. So I didn't want to damage the body parts. I didn't want to drill holes or something like that, or weld the mounts. So I just decided to use a bolting type mount. So this is one of the mounts that I made. It just goes into this slot and fits, and I'll drill two holes here and here and tap these holes, and I just use nuts to I'll just use the nuts to hold this onto the rear door. There'll be two mounting brackets. One is here and the other one would be here, somewhere near the actual mounting points of the rear door. So I haven't really drilled the holes yet. I just made this out from two pieces of mild steel plates. I just welded them together, and so you have to just slide it into place. It needs some working to be done, so that's it. It will just sit here, and if you drill the two holes and tighten the nuts, it will just clamp onto the body. And the spoiler brackets, that would be somewhat like this. I got the brackets here. I will show you guys. So this is the bracket. I haven't actually fully machined it yet. These are cut out from 3mm steel plates. So I have to weld it like this onto the mounting bracket, and I plan to make the spoiler out of GFRP, that is glass fiber. Hey guys, I showed you the clamp earlier that I made for mounting the spoiler. So I just drilled two holes here and here, about 4.5 using 4.5 drill bits, and just tapped the holes so that I could screw in the hex bolts or screws, so that it would be fixed on the vehicle's rear door. So this is the tap I used. It's a 5mm M5 tap, and you should just twist it through the bore to create the threads, and then I'll show you guys how to mount it here. So to mount the brackets, you just got to use a piece of paper. Use a bit of paper to not damage the paint. Mine doesn't matter because I have already scraped it a lot. Slide it in. So until it goes and fits in nicely. So you can see that it fits almost near the base of the body's the vehicle's body. So all you need to do now is use a hexagonal 5mm bolts or a screw to fix it onto the rear door. I'm using screws, although I suggest you to use 5mm hex bolts. Those are way better to tighten and give a snug fit. It is useful to use two threads. I mean two screws, so that it fits perfectly without any vibrations. So if you just use a single screw, the plate will move a lot. We don't want that. So you just have to go for 2 screws or bolts. You have to tighten them equally so that one is not in loose fit. So after tightening it fully, you will notice that it shakes a little bit now, but if you tighten it with the screwdriver, I did it earlier, and I could shake the vehicle with just this holding this bracket. So the same way I mounted the other one here, and we got 2 mounting brackets for the spoiler. Now the next step would be to weld the fins somewhere like this. I'll show you guys from the other side. We'd have to weld the fins to the bracket. Make sure you have a gap, some little gap around the edge, so that it doesn't go and hit the body when you open the rear door. So after welding it, we could mount the rear wing or the spoiler. Here it is. I have made a fixture to make the fiberglass spoiler out of. So what I'm basically planning to do is raised center profile, so the wing looks curved like this, and those edges are gonna be for the side wings. I just nailed on some wooden pieces to the sides. So the first step is to mix the epoxy resin in the hardener. So the ratio of the resin is to hardener is about 11:1. So 11 parts resin and 1 part hardener. So you have to mix it well. I am using this plastic container to mix the fluid. So after mixing it well, you can use the mixture to make the glass fiber. Always wear gloves. I have bought a pair of surgical gloves available at a medical shop. So you can use this to protect your hand from glass fiber pricking. It will always prick your hand. So always use gloves. If you have a mask, use a mask. You've got your gloves on. So you have to cut the glass fiber, which is usually given in form of a total length of sheet, into the required lengths, so that while applying the resin, you don't need to go and cut it again. It will never get messy. So cut it first and then start doing the process. So first apply a small layer of mixture on bottom surface. After applying this layer, then place a sheet of glass fiber. I bought the multi-directional fiber as I had it. There was nothing other than this at the shop that I went. The second layer onto the first one. The length of the breadth of the sheets were not enough to cover the whole length in a single layer. So I had to improvise and make it a sort of an offset layers. So here's the completed spoiler. We have to let it rest for about 8 hours. So we'll check it again in the morning, and hopefully it will be finished and as strong as expected. I've used about 6 layers of glass fiber to build this. We can trim off the edges later. So we'll come check again in the morning. Taking the glass fiber out of the mold, and I'm gonna cut off the edges so that we can bring the final shape out. Here we go. So these are the mounting brackets I showed you earlier. So what we are going to do is, this is going to be on the car, and we're going to use these angles to mount the rear spoiler. We're going to drill a hole here and then 2 holes here and here, so that you can bolt this on to this one, and bolt the spoiler to the upper angle. So here you go, guys. I just mounted the mounting brackets, and I have additionally added a reinforcing bar to, it was actually hanging too much, and it was bendy, so I added a reinforcing bar and welded them onto the 2 ends, so that it would remain straight in when the car is in motion. Now we mount it like this. So that's it, and I have used the Allen head bolts to, they look cooler than the other hex head bolts. We have to remove this assembly and then paint it black. Painting the spoiler, and I went ahead and mounted it. It really looks cool. So it doesn't flex much. We took it for a spin, and it performs well. I mean, it doesn't really perform anything. It just looks cool. So that's how I did the spoiler, and have fun, guys. With me, my brother.